Hello, good day to you, it's me, Andy, and Talkin, really. Now, you will know if you've been following along, and also if you're involved in ESA WRAG, which is Work-Related Activity Group, you will know that a couple of years ago, the lovely government voted to remove 29 quid a week from your claim. So basically you lose £29 a week for nothing. And lots of the MPs voted for this, including a long list of Tories. We did cover it a while back when it was first broke. However, I saw this and I thought it was quite relevant to bring it back up because you may have missed the story. And the story is quite revealing because I had not seen this story and missed it, and it actually just reiterates what the government think of disabled people in general, but also the way that they will just do it regardless of any consequences for the people that are not receiving the money anymore, in the name of austerity and forcing people to get a job. Fair enough, there is this theory that a lot of people allege, I say it's an allegation because I have yet to see it and believe it, but they reckon that, people on benefits, it's not worth working, blah, blah, blah. You get far too much money, you don't have to work, there's no incentive, blah, blah, blah. And of course this rubs off because it's the government saying it. And of course, it's not entirely true, and we all know that. We all know that who are claiming, for example. You wouldn't necessarily. I know several people who are able-bodied and they work, and the first thing that they say is, anybody on benefits, they've got no incentive to go to work. They get far too much money, they get far too much help, and I get nothing. They say this is what they say, and I've heard it. And I have to actually bite my lip because I think, well, if you were claiming, you would know how little you get. And certainly all of those lovely people who voted Tory and then had to claim UC in the summer because they were out of a job, they found out how little money it is, which is partly the reason why the government gave them 20 quid extra per week. Now, let's get back to this, the work-related activity group, and you'll see that the excuse is mind-boggling. Anyway, I'm going to hand you over, and you can have a little read and a listen to the story.
DWP has just dug itself into a massive hole. Recent revelations forced it to change official records, but its updated answer actually made it look worse. And it left more questions than answers. Not least, what have people died for? As the Canary wrote, the DWP has been tying itself up in knots over employment and support allowance, ESA. In 2017, it cut the rate of money it gave claimants in the work-related activity group, WRAG. This was by around £29 a week. The group is for people who the DWP says should be moving into work. Often these claimants live with illnesses or impairments. At the time, the Tories and DWP said the cut was to stop giving sick and disabled people financial incentives to not work. The then Chancellor George Osborne called these incentives perverse. The DWP also said the cut would save money. This was when austerity was in full flow. Its final forecast said cutting the WRAG rate would claw back just over £1 billion in 4 years. But it also claimed it would plough in £330 million to support claimants into work. Trampling over dead bodies. Sound perverse? It gets even more sordid. The DWP cut to WRAG cash knowing death rates in the group were rocketing. By 2016, after it finalized the cut, claimants in the WRAG died at a rate of 7.7 per 1,000. This was over 4 times higher than the rest of the population. Charities disputed the DWP's incentives claims. But it pushed the cut through anyway. Now, it's raised its ugly head again. But the story has got even uglier. On the 20th of January, DWP, Minister Justin Tomlinson answered an MP's question. It was about how much money the WRAG cut saved the DWP. He said there were no savings from cutting the WRAG rate. The Canary spotted this. We thought the answer was dodgy. This is because the DWP originally said the cut would save over £1 billion. So, on Wednesday the 22nd of January, we asked the DWP about this claim. It took it until late on Friday the 24th of January to get its act together and give us an answer. The DWP changed Tomlinson's written answer in the official records. It went from no savings from the cut to this. Then, the DWP gave the Canary a comment. This had nothing to do with the WRAG cut. It was just more claims about how much money it spends on sick and disabled people. We will spend £55 billion this year on benefits to support disabled people and people with health conditions. This is up £10 billion in real terms since 2010, and is around 2.5% of GDP, and over 6% of government spending. Talk about lip service. But the DWP's change to Parliament's records has opened a can of worms. Its new answer poses countless, worrying questions. How did Tomlinson make such a mistake about savings? Why did the DWP forecast over £1 billion of savings from the WRAG cut? If it doesn't know the savings now, how did it know in 2015-16? What made the DWP change the wording on the £330 million savings? Tomlinson first said it was invested from the recycled WRAG savings. It then changed to an additional investment. This gives the impression the money was not from the WRAG cut. So which is it? If the £330 million wasn't from the WRAG cut, where has people's £29 a week loss since April 2017 gone? What has the DWP done with £1 billion of people's money? Would the DWP have changed Tomlinson's answer if the Canary hadn't caught it out? As I wrote, either Tomlinson and the DWP are clueless, or they've both told an outright lie. Luckily, a Canary reader has done a Freedom of Information (FOI) request. It aims to find out how much the WRAG cut saved. But really, the DWP's possible lying is not the worst of this. The DWP has gone on official record to say it doesn't know how much cash the WRAG cut saved. If we believe it, then the fallout should be damning, because what it's actually saying is that it cut sick and disabled people's money. It cut it in the name of austerity. The DWP took cash from people because, let's face it, it thought they were scroungers. But now, it can't say how much cash it saved. So, what's the point of austerity been? Why would the Tories slash public spending to save money if they didn't then know if it had even saved anything? By this logic, the DWP and Tories have put people through hell for no reason. People have died against a backdrop of public finance penny pinching. And our despicable politicians and civil servants can't even do them the decency of saying if their dead bodies have saved money. It's an utter disgrace, piled on top of a mountain of disgraces from this vile department.
Right, well there you go, that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you found it relevant. And of course, bearing in mind that it was actually from 2020 January. So not this January, but last January. So it's a year on, and the ESA claimants are no better off because they still have not got any recompense for losing the £29 a week, which every single Tory MP voted for, and it was a big thing at the time. That's the story, hope you enjoyed it, and of course I'll see you next video. Bye for now.